Hello, my name is Yashar Doğan. I am a solicitor advocate at Redstone Solicitors, specializing in UK immigration and nationality law. Despite Brexit and unfavorable changes to the immigration system, the UK remains a desirable destination for foreign entrepreneurs, investors, and business people. However, with the closure of the investor, entrepreneur, and sole representative visas, there are limited options available to business people who'd like to come to the UK to establish and run a business here. The main options are the Innovator Founder Visa and the UK Expansion Worker Visa. However, both of these routes entail difficult criteria to meet, and the UK Expansion Worker Visa route doesn't lead to settlement. Therefore, there has been an ongoing search for an alternative solution. Following the removal of the restriction on company shareholding by skilled workers in December 2020, a solution has been created by adopting the Skilled Worker Visa, which has been branded as the Self-Sponsorship Program. I initially had reservations regarding this program. However, it's now been sufficiently tested in a number of successful applications that it can be used as a reliable solution. Let's have a detailed look at this scheme. What is the Self-Sponsored Skilled Worker Visa route? Is it a new type of UK visa? This isn't a new type of visa. In fact, there's no UK visa officially known as the Self-Sponsorship Visa. It's an adaptation of the Skilled Worker Visa. The adaptation is lawful and legitimate so long as it is implemented with integrity and transparency. In essence, this adaptation allows you as a business person to establish, acquire, or join a company in the UK, obtain a sponsor license for that company, and then get that company to sponsor you so that you could come to the United Kingdom and work here in your own business. The Self-Sponsored Skilled Worker Visa program can lead to permanent residence rights in the UK, and you can have your dependent partner and children join you here. There are 4 main steps in the Self-Sponsored Skilled Worker Visa program. First, you need to incorporate a company in the UK and prepare it to trade. This step essentially involves incorporating the company at the company's house, registering it with the HMRC for tax purposes, opening a bank account, obtaining employees' liability insurance, etc. You'll also need to identify a suitable person based in the UK and appoint them as a paid employee or office holder of your UK business, such as a director or company secretary. The second step is for the company to apply to the Home Office for a sponsor license to be able to sponsor skilled workers from outside of the UK to employ them in the UK. At this stage, using the documents obtained at the incorporation phase, an application is made to the Home Office to obtain a sponsor license for the company. The Home Office will need to be satisfied about the genuineness of your business, its capability to carry out its sponsor duties, and its ability to offer genuine employment that meets the salary and skill levels required by the skilled worker route. The third step is for your company to apply to the Home Office for a certificate of sponsorship in order to sponsor you. The fourth and final step is for you to apply for a skilled worker visa using the certificate of sponsorship obtained by your company. We have other videos in which we've explained how you can apply for a sponsor license, how you can continue to keep your sponsor license by complying with your relevant duties, and how to apply for a skilled worker visa. We recommend that you watch these videos to make full sense of this video you are now watching. Do I have to incorporate a new company for self-sponsorship purposes? You don't have to incorporate a new company. It's possible to implement the Self-Sponsored Skilled Worker Program through an existing UK company. Instead of incorporating a new company, you can acquire or join an existing and trading company as a shareholder, and then follow the steps we touched upon earlier. If you acquire or join an existing company which already has a sponsor license for skilled workers, you may be able to skip the first 2 stages and apply for a skilled worker visa after your company has obtained a certificate of sponsorship for you. Can I incorporate, acquire, or join a UK company while I'm not a resident there? Yes, this is possible. There's no legal requirement for a director or shareholder of a UK company to be a resident or citizen of the United Kingdom. If I can be a director and shareholder of my company while I'm overseas, why do I have to appoint another person as a paid employee or office holder of my company? This is due to certain restrictions in the rules relating to the sponsor license scheme. One restriction is that The key personnel of your business involved in the management of your sponsor license, such as the authorizing officer and the level 1 user, have to be UK residents. Another restriction is that a sponsorship management system user can't assign a certificate of sponsorship to themselves, a close relative or partner. For these reasons, you need a suitable person to act as key personnel in order to obtain and facilitate your business's sponsor license. Further, having a director who is a UK resident would make it easier to open a bank account for your business, which is one of the important documents showing that your business is a genuine operating business. How long after I've established my company can it apply for a sponsor license? Your company will only need to show that it's a genuine business operating lawfully in the UK. Therefore, your company will be able to apply for a sponsor license soon after it's been incorporated and it's taken the initial steps of having registered with the HMRC for PAYE and VAT, having opened a bank account, having obtained employees' liability insurance and the like. You don't have to wait until the company has started actively trading or generating revenue. However, having said that, of course, it would be easier to satisfy the Home Office about the genuineness of your business if it's traded for a while and has started generating revenue. Is there a certain level of funds I'll need to invest in my company in order to make a successful application? There's no specified minimum level of investment. It will all depend on the type and size of the business you seek to establish or join. For instance, a small cafe business would require a much smaller level of investment than a transport company with international operations. As a business person, the immigration authorities would expect you to identify, research and plan for the startup costs of your proposed business. Further, it may be easier to satisfy the Home Office about the genuineness of your business if you could show that you have sufficient investment funds to develop your business and to meet the initial business expenses, including the minimum salary levels. Startup costs would typically include the rent and the rent deposit or the purchase price for the business premises, of course if this will be needed for your business, the business rates, which is a tax paid for your business premises to the local council, the startup equipment such as a computer, a telephone, printer, a desk, etc., the initial consumables such as printer, ink, paper, etc., the business insurance, the initial advertisement media such as business cards, flyers, a website, etc., the costs of a telephone line and internet and the like. The Home Office won't always request proof of the funds you plan to invest in your business. However, they can ask to see it, and if they do, you should be able to provide evidence of your available funds and their source. If you could show that you have funds which would be sufficient to meet 6 to 12 months worth of your business's expenses, this is likely to increase your application's chances of success. Do I need a business plan? A business plan isn't a mandatory document. However, it may be a useful document in demonstrating that you have a genuine business operating lawfully in the UK and setting out the need for your role in the business as a skilled worker. Will my business in the UK have to pay me a salary? Yes, you need to receive a salary from your company, which must be the higher of the general salary threshold or the going rate for your position within your company. At the time of recording this video, the general salary threshold is £38,700 per year. Does my proposed business have to be in a certain sector, and do I have to have an innovative or unique business idea? No, your business could be in any sector or field of trade, and it doesn't have to be innovative or unique in any way. There are no restrictions, nor does your business need to be approved by an endorsing body. Your business could be a cafe, a restaurant, a beauty salon, a garage, or an IT company, a construction company, an import and export business, etc. In short, it can be in any sector or trade of your choice. Is there an English language requirement? Yes, I mentioned earlier that this was essentially an adaptation of the skilled worker visa. Therefore, the same English language requirement applies, and that's level B1 in each of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. If you're taking the IELTS test, for instance, you'd need to achieve at least 4.0 in all components of the test. There are other ways in which you could meet the English language requirement. You'll be accepted as having met the requirement if you are a national of a majority English-speaking country, such as the USA and Canada, or if you have been awarded a university degree taught in English, or if you have obtained a GCSE or A-level in English while at school in the UK. What position do I need to fill in my proposed business? Your position within the company must be genuine and would need to be a skilled worker role. For instance, you could be sponsored as a chief executive officer, a vice president or a director, a manager, a business development manager, a marketing manager or director, an IT director, etc. There are many roles that you can fill in your organization. The requirement is that the position must be a genuine vacancy and not one that's created for the sole or main purpose of facilitating your visa application. Can I establish a new business jointly with my sibling or friend so that both of us apply for a self-sponsored skilled worker visa? Yes, this is possible. You can establish, acquire or join a business with other people, including your family members, friends or business partners, through which each of you can apply for a self-sponsored skilled worker visa, provided that there's a genuine vacancy within the business for each of you. Can I switch from another visa to the self-sponsored skilled worker route within the UK? This may be possible depending on the visa route you are currently on. For example, you are not allowed to switch from a visit visa, a short-term student visa, or a seasonal worker. However, you can switch from a spouse visa, a graduate route visa, or long-term student visa, provided that your employment start date will be after your course completion date. So your switching rights depend on your current visa type. Can I study or take on additional work in the UK while working for my own business? As a self-sponsored skilled worker, you can work in a supplementary job for up to 20 hours a week, as long as you comply with certain restrictions. You can also take up a secondary job with a second sponsor, subject to certain criteria. In addition, you have the right to study and take on voluntary work. Can I establish and run more than one business? Although self-sponsored, you'll still be a skilled worker and accordingly you'll be subject to the rules applicable to skilled workers. Therefore, despite limitations, there may be a few ways in which you may be able to work for more than one business you own in the UK. First, subject to certain limitations, you can work for an additional business you own by way of a supplementary employment. Secondly, you can take up a job within your additional business as a secondary employment. The third way could be to add your new line of business as a branch of your company. These may turn into a complex matter, therefore it's best to obtain legal advice if this need arises in your situation. Can my dependents join me and can I acquire settlement in the UK as a self-sponsored skilled worker? Yes, your dependent partner and children under the age of 18 can join you if certain requirements are met. They can apply for a visa at the same time when you'll apply for your visa, or they can apply for a visa to join you afterwards. You can qualify for indefinite leave to remain after you complete 5 years continuous residence in the UK. A year after you are granted indefinite leave to remain, you may be eligible to apply for British citizenship. How long can I stay outside of the UK with the self-sponsored skilled worker visa? The general rule is that in order to be eligible for indefinite leave to remain, you are allowed to spend up to 180 days in any 12 months period. However, your absences must also be in line with the nature and conditions of your role within the business. Otherwise, the genuineness of your vacancy may be called into question. How long does the application process take? As we explained earlier, there are 4 stages to this process: the incorporation and establishment stage, the sponsor license application stage, the certificate of sponsorship application stage, and finally, the skilled worker visa application stage. The incorporation and establishment stage may take between 4 to 8 weeks. The sponsor license application stage usually takes less than 8 weeks. In most cases, the certificate of sponsorship is granted within 1 working day. Skilled worker visa applications are usually decided within 4 weeks. With preparations and potential setbacks, the process could stretch to a period of between 6 and 8 months. Are there any alternatives to the self-sponsored skilled worker route? If you'd like to come to work as an employee, you may be able to find a suitable job and be sponsored by a third-party sponsor license holder to sponsor you as a skilled worker. If you wish to establish and manage your own business in the UK, the alternatives could be the UK Expansion Worker Visa, the Innovator Founder Visa, and a global talent visa. However, you should note that while the UK expansion worker route doesn't lead to settlement and your residence in the UK with this visa is limited to 2 years, unless you successfully switch to the skilled worker visa, the requirements for the other alternatives aren't easy to satisfy. How can Redstone Solicitors help me obtain a self-sponsored skilled worker visa? As a firm of solicitors specializing in UK business law as well as UK immigration and nationality law, we can help you with every stage of your self-sponsored skilled worker visa process. We can help with the incorporation of your company. We can prepare your initial policies, procedures, and systems to enable your business to obtain a sponsor license and comply with its ongoing duties as a sponsor license holder. We can also help you identify and gather information and documents needed to make your company's sponsor license application. We can provide you and your appointed key personnel with advice, assistance, and representation in your business's sponsor license application process. We can also draft legal representations which can be submitted in support of the sponsor license application of your company. After your company has obtained a sponsor license, we can help your company apply for a certificate of sponsorship to sponsor you. We can finally help you with your application for a skilled worker visa and your dependents with their dependent visa applications. We hope that this video has given you an overview of the self-sponsored skilled worker program. There will be further videos on this topic. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments below so we can answer them in our future videos. Goodbye for now.